What's happening, people? In this video, I will be discussing my top 5 candidates for the top awards for the 2016-17 NBA season, including MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved Player. I've already discussed my prediction for the Rookie of the Year award in a previous video, so feel free to check that out when you get a chance. But in the meantime, let's get into it. The first award I'll be discussing is the Most Improved Player Award. Coming in at number 5 is OKC center Steven Adams. Steven Adams made a name for himself in the 2016 NBA playoffs in his 3rd season. He became one of the most important players on the Thunder during their playoff run. It was such a giant leap forward in production by the 7-footer that Sam Presti felt the team could afford to trade an underperforming Serge Ibaka, who was disappointed in his role with the team and could leave in free agency. You can be sure that Adams will play an even bigger role now with the departure of Kevin Durant. At number 4, Wizards guard Bradley Beal. Beal is a player that the Wizards are hoping can take the next step towards stardom next to John Wall. Beal has shown flashes of greatness in the NBA playoffs, where he's averaged 21, 5, and 5 in his short playoff career. We know what Beal is capable of doing, but for him to become a star, he has to do it consistently throughout the course of an 82-game season. Staying healthy is the main factor that has stopped Beal from becoming a star. Beal is entering maybe the most important year of his career, and the reported on-court feud with John Wall creates even more pressure than it already is. But I believe he will deliver and help the Washington Wizards get back to the playoffs after coming up short last season. At number 3, Heat center Hassan Whiteside. With the unexpected departure of Miami Heat franchise player Dwayne Wade in free agency and the uncertainty of Chris Bosh's availability, Hassan Whiteside will be featured more in the offense and have a great chance to put up big numbers this upcoming season. His upside and untapped potential gives the Miami Heat fans a reason to hope for the future. Miami has no choice but to go all in with Hassan Whiteside and making him the face of the franchise. At number 2, Suns guard Devin Booker. Booker far exceeded the expectations for him coming into his rookie season. He proved to be an explosive scorer and proficient playmaker already at a young age. He does have some areas to improve, as all rookies do, but he's definitely headed in the right direction. Booker started getting big minutes once Eric Bledsoe got injured, and then Booker eventually entered the starting lineup in January. I expect his number to take another leap, especially going into the season as a starter from day 1. And my Rookie of the Year award winner goes to Lakers guard D'Angelo Russell. Pick in the 2015 NBA draft is coming off a Summer League performance in Las Vegas, where he seemed to recapture the joy in playing the game like he did at Ohio State. The confidence and swagger was back. He played loose and free, and it was more than likely a sign of things to come this upcoming season, playing without Kobe Bryant and having a new promising young coach in Luke Walton. It's a complete reset for the Lakers this season, and perhaps nobody will benefit more from that than D'Angelo Russell. The next award up is Sixth Man of the Year. Coming in at number 5 is Suns guard Brandon Knight. Now, I don't expect Brandon Knight to be in a Phoenix Suns uniform by the end of the season. He's the odd man out in the Suns' young backcourt trio of Bledsoe, Booker, and himself, and the team will be wise to get some value back for him. But with that being said, if the Suns choose to keep him for now, Knight should be a very productive offensive player coming off the bench. He'll be playing on a second unit where there's not a lot of established NBA players, which will give him every opportunity to fill it up. At number 4, Pacers center Al Jefferson. I don't expect Al Jefferson to be a starter for the Pacers. I believe the Pacers will go with Miles Turner and Thaddeus Young starting at the 4 and 5 positions. But off the bench, Big Al should be a monster. He can feast on backup big man and not totally be exposed by the starting big man because of his lack of foot speed on defense. Jefferson has proven that he can't be relied on to be available for his team throughout the season in the last 2 years. Coming off the bench and playing around 15 to 20 minutes might be the best way to lessen his chance of injury. Coming in at number 3 is Knicks guard Brandon Jennings. Jennings is one of the most interesting candidates I'm going to talk about. He's been a starter his entire career until he tore his Achilles around 2 seasons ago. Now with a full offseason and time to heal, Jennings is coming into a great situation in New York. With the pressure of starting gone for at least this season, Jennings can utilize his scoring and energy even more effectively in the Knicks' second unit. Phil Jackson apparently told Brandon he expects him to win this award, and with a motivated Brandon Jennings, he might end up doing exactly what Phil brought him in for. Coming in at number 2 is Clippers guard Jamal Crawford. It seems that the reigning award winner and the ageless wonder is always in the mix for this award. This award should literally be named after Jamal Crawford. Even at 36 years old, Crawford is still a large threat on the offensive end. Crawford has been in the NBA for a while, but he consistently produces wherever he's gone. As long as he remains healthy and can keep playing big minutes, he will always be a candidate for this award. And my 6th Man of the Year award goes to Blazers guard Allen Crabbe. Once thought of as a developmental project, he has now turned himself into a 6th Man of the Year candidate. Finally getting consistent minutes last season, Crabbe responded by averaging 11.2 points per game, shooting 47% from the field and 38% from 3. Not only is he effective on the offensive end, Crabbe plays smart, consistent defense that makes him a 3-and-D player that every team in the league now covets almost more than anything. Most of the time, this award goes to a player on a team that makes the playoffs, and I have no doubt that the Blazers can be one of the top teams in the West. Next up, Defensive Player of the Year. Coming in at number 5 is Pelicans forward Anthony Davis. With the combination of athleticism, mobility, and length, Davis is the prototypical defensive big for an era that favors speed over mass. Davis has shown amazing flashes of brilliance that have left NBA fans salivating at the idea that this guy is not even close to reaching his peak. Entering his 5th year with possibly the best set of defenders he's played with, it's time for Anthony Davis to establish himself as a dominant force on the defensive side of the ball. At number 4, Jazz center Rudy Gobert. Gobert is a lanky 7'1" center who is quick off his feet and has an insane 7'9" wingspan, making him one of the league's more fearsome shot blockers. He makes everything the Jazz try to do on the defensive end of the floor easier. If the Utah Jazz finally take the next step up and gets back into the playoffs in 2017, the big man in the middle will be the foundational force. Coming in at number 3 is Heat center Hassan Whiteside. Whiteside was the league leader in blocks last season, averaging 3.7 blocks per game. That's well ahead of DeAndre Jordan, who came in second on that list. Whiteside's frame, freakish 7'7" wingspan, and fluidity allow him to do what few others in the league has been able to do at a high level. He can alter shots at angles that others can't reach. With those attributes, Whiteside will be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year for the foreseeable future. At number 2 is Spurs forward Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is the reigning back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year award winner, becoming the first non-center to repeat since Dennis Rodman in 1991. It may be time to accept Kawhi Leonard as the most proficient two-way player in the league. His defense made San Antonio a consistent elite defensive unit by allowing the fewest points per game last season. The fact that Kawhi Leonard can take on the primary defensive assignment and be very active as a help defender while only committing 2 fouls per game is astonishing. And Kawhi Leonard has a legit chance to win the award 3 times in a row, which has only been done once in NBA history. And my Defensive Player of the Year award winner goes to Celtics guard Avery Bradley. Those who follow the Boston Celtics closely have known for a long time how good Avery Bradley is on the defensive end of the court. Now it appears the rest of the NBA is taking notice. Last year was the first time Bradley has won first team all defense. The 25-year-old routinely draws the most important defensive assignment night after night. Defensive Player of the Year has almost always been an award for the anchors of an NBA defense. You know, the big men like Dikembe Mutombo, Ben Wallace, and Dwight Howard. When it comes to wing players, it takes a very special perimeter force who is capable of anchoring a defense in their own unique way outside the paint. And Avery Bradley is that special perimeter force. And last but certainly not least, the League MVP award. Coming in at number 5 is Warriors guard Steph Curry. With a former MVP Kevin Durant joining the squad in Golden State, Curry is guaranteed to see his numbers dip this upcoming season, but I still expect him to score and shoot with at least the same efficiency, if not more. The Warriors are at their best when they are moving the ball and creating open looks with their frenetic passing. That will likely lead to lesser numbers for Curry, but it's a sacrifice made in pursuit of the Larry O'Brien trophy. At number 4, Spurs forward Kawhi Leonard. The most exciting part about Kawhi's future is that he's really only getting started. He entered the NBA as a defender without a reliable jump shot. Now he's made himself into one of the most complete players in the league as someone who only takes 15 shots a night and maintains great efficiency. So while there's room for improvement, that's what next season and another shot at MVP is for. Spurs will be one of the best teams in the league, and Kawhi Leonard is their hands-down best player, so he will definitely be in the discussion for MVP. At number 3, OKC guard Russell Westbrook. The modern-day Mr. Triple-Double is now on the team by himself, figuratively speaking. While losing KD definitely removes them from being contenders, it will be exciting to see Westbrook put up amazing individual numbers. Everyone expects Russell to go nuts and actually have a chance to average a triple-double for a whole season and lead the Thunder to a top 5 seed in the playoffs. But I disagree with the last part. I don't expect the Thunder to be a top team in the West. I actually think they could miss the playoffs entirely. I expect teams like the Timberwolves, the Mavericks, the Blazers, and the Jazz to finish above the Thunder. When KD was out in 2014, we all saw how much a monster Westbrook truly is. But need I remind you, they missed the playoffs that year. And you might say, the players around Westbrook and KD got better, but the other teams in the West have also gotten better. Coming in at number 2 is Warriors forward Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant faces unbelievable pressure by signing up with a behemoth of a basketball team in the Golden State Warriors. With great power comes great responsibility. With all eyes clearly on Durant and the Warriors, he could very well rise to the occasion. During the Western Conference Finals, Durant showed he had the ability to have an all-defensive caliber season. Durant will have enough talent around him on both ends of the floor to become a better all-around player in his prime at 28. The inability to use double teams on the Golden State Warriors should lead to Durant shooting from a higher percentage all across the field. If he's the go-to player in the Warriors' half-court offense, KD could possibly be well on his way to his second MVP award. And my league MVP award winner goes to Cavaliers forward LeBron James, the promise fulfiller himself, who already has 4 MVPs on his resume, will have an opportunity to match that so-called ghost in Chicago that he's been chasing. With both front-running candidates from the past season and Durant and Curry now on the same team, those two will take MVP votes away from each other. Now I know LeBron has, for the most part, played the last 2 seasons in cruise control and eventually turned it up by the end of the season. But I expect his numbers to see an incline this season as he makes what could be his true final attempt at his 5th MVP trophy.